a.m. on Saturday morning and I have already finished a book. The Land of Stories, The Wishing Spell by Colfer. This has been on my list for so long. This is the series I want to read this year because it's Colfer writing about fairy tales. And for anyone who knows me, you're probably wondering why I haven't already binged this series. And honestly, now that I've read the first part, I wish I had the other ones here. I just want to read all of them right now. And it's magical, it's so sweet. It is kind of more a children's book series. So the writing style is quite simple. I will say that there were some points where it was a bit too quick for me and I would have liked to get more details. On the other hand, this is already more than 400 pages and only the first part in the series, so maybe there just wasn't space for more details. But on a whole, I'm really glad I finally picked the series up and I can't wait to read the second part and continue the entire series. And it was a lovely read to start this readathon off because it was such a quick read and such a flow, but it also was just a lovely story. And I also received a message from the person I'm buddy reading, Ted Williams and Deborah Beale's The Ordinary Farm with, whilst I read Land of Stories. So I think now I'm gonna catch up. I think it's about 40 pages that I have to catch up, and then I'm gonna eat something because I'm hungry, and I can use that time to kind of catch up with her and like exchange thoughts and yeah, stuff like that. Oh, before I forget, Colfer's Land of Story also gave me an idea for a story I might write. So, or more a variation of a story I've been meaning to write for forever, and I think I now have an angle on which I can approach that. So that's nice. Alrighty, so it's time to choose which book I want to read next. Now I could continue with Ordinary Farm, but to be honest the basic plotline is quite similar to Land of Stories in that it is two siblings finding themselves in a fantasy world, and the brother-sister dynamics are also quite similar, so I just kind of want something else. I do also still have to finish reading Middlemarch by George Eliot for university, or for my term paper, and though I love George Eliot's writing and I do want to finish this, it is for a term paper, so I'd have to think about it a lot and stuff, and I don't want that right now. What else do we have in this lovely pile? The ones that stand out right now are Renegades by Marissa Meyer, which, I mean, I kind of want to read it, but then again, it's another first part in a series, and Land of Stories was as well, and do I really want to start a new series? And it's really like long. The other one would be Your Name by Makoto Shinkai. I probably butchered that name, but I recently saw the film for this and it broke my heart in the best way possible and I love it. I might want to read this. Also because the film and the imagery is still quite present in my head, so might want to do that. What else do we have? Most of these are, I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm into those at the moment. I think I'm gonna continue with Your Name at the moment. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna cry though. I know I'm gonna cry. So I need tea. It is now 3:30 and I just finished Your Name. Which I've also seen the film too, I think 2 weeks ago, and it was completely gorgeous and really just very different than anything I've seen before, also different than any anime I've seen before, and just really touching and so gorgeous. It was so beautifully done. So I was really interested in reading this with those images in mind, and it was a really interesting read. First of all, the story is about a boy and a girl who kind of switch bodies sometimes, and the way it's written is that on the right side of the page is the boy's thoughts and his story, and on the left side of the same page is the girl's story. Let me find a page where you can actually see that. So we have the boy's side and the girl's side. So you get kind of both perspectives flowing into each other, and sometimes they're some sentences that are in the middle, so you know that both of them think them. So it's just really interesting in the way their perspectives and opinions and thoughts kind of intertwine but are also divided because they're two different people. So that's really interesting. Also really interesting was that obviously a film has music and a book doesn't, but the girl actually often thinks about background music. She kind of has this soundtrack in the back of her mind and thinks about which music would fit the scene she's experiencing right now. And I found that really interesting, and I guess I have to rewatch the anime and see whether they actually chose music for the scenes that fits her descriptions of the music. The author's kind of notes were so fascinating because I didn't quite know the backstory of this. So he started making the anime first because he thought that that was the better way to describe the story or to present the story, and started writing the novel because he thought this would be the better way to describe the feelings. And I think I actually agree. So I just found it really interesting that there's actually the author saying why he chose the different mediums and describing why he did that and how he did it in different ways. So just really, really interesting, a really fascinating story, so emotional. So I did actually read 10 more pages of George Eliot's Middlemarch just to finish like the next little chunk of the book, but it's just so difficult to read and so many thoughts about it and stuff, so I'm not gonna continue reading that for now. And I did read 2 pages of a Valentine's story my friend is writing, so I did read some little bits, but I think I want to start a new novel. And I also think I might actually go with Renegades. It is quite long. It is quite long. But also, I still have an entire day left tomorrow, so it's just so pretty. I don't know. I think I'm gonna start and see like how easy it is, how much I flow through it. And I think I'm just gonna continue reading that probably, because like with the Lunar Chronicles it was a pretty quick read. So I think I'm gonna start this one now. Also getting a little bit tired, so we'll see how far I get. Now, and I'm 150 pages into Renegades. I'm really enjoying it so far, but my eyes just won't stay open anymore. I'm quite tired, so I'm thinking I'm just gonna call it a night. Call it a day, call it a night, one of those. I'm gonna go to sleep so that I can continue reading this and maybe even something else bright and early tomorrow. But yes, I had a nice day of reading today. And now I need sleep. Good morning. It is now 9 AM on Sunday morning, which is a little bit longer than I was planning on sleeping. But I did have an exhausting week before, so I guess my body just really needed the sleep. Anyways, I will make some breakfast now and continue reading Renegades. Also, it's snowing, which is lovely. Yay! It is now, I think, 12 o'clock. I'm halfway done with Renegades and I just got to the like really emotional backstories and teared up a lot. Maybe even quite a bit. Maybe. Let's not talk about that. But I'm gonna take a little break right now. Maybe clean up my room a little bit. I have to do laundry, maybe eat a bit. So yeah, gonna take a little break and then get back to this bad boy. the second part. Right now. I need the second part right now. Damn it. What? Okay, safe to say, I didn't expect that. What the heck? Okay. Great book, by the way. I'm really impressed by the diversity, because one of the things that a lot of people, including myself, didn't like about the Lunar Chronicles was the kind of monochrome character setting. So this has queer characters and characters of different skin colors and of different body types and all that stuff, so that's nice. Well done, Marissa Meyer. Also, they're on both sides, like it's about superheroes and supervillains, and both sides are more or less diverse, so that's nice. What the heck? That ending. I need the second part. Like, it's the same as with Land of Stories. I want to read the second part. I need the second part. There's so many questions. Really good book. Really, Marissa Meyer is really good at suspense. Okay. What time is it? What time is it? Oh, also you might be able to hear that festival is still going on. Okay, it's nearly 7 p.m. But I don't want to get into a new story right now because I'm not over this. Like, I need a minute to just think about it. I have so many theories right now. That's what I love about like mostly science fiction stuff or fiction stuff. There is just so many suspense, so much that's what I love about like fiction stuff, because there's so much going on that I'm filled with theories about what might happen and how things relate and all that stuff, and yeah. Since it's nearly 7 p.m, I think I might get something to eat, maybe? And think about this for a bit. Really good book. I also really hope that the second spine will have like him on the spine. So the second book will have him on the spine, so that the spines are the cover but looking at each other. That would be so cool. Yeah, also really like the superhero names in this and the villain names. And just really interesting, like in its political and moral thoughts. Just so much to think about. Yes. Food. It is now exactly 8 p.m. on Sunday evening, which means that I technically still have 4 hours to go. However, I honestly don't have any books that I really want to read right now, and the ones that kind of come to mind have at least 300 pages or more, and I don't think that I can manage that in 4 hours. Also, my eyes are getting really tired, and I don't know if I could manage to read for 4 more hours without my brain exploding. And since I've had very heavy headaches for the past couple of days, I don't want to risk getting them back. Plus I have to kind of work on my term papers and stuff tomorrow, so I don't even know if I want to stay up that late, or late. So basically I'm calling it a day. I've read for a long time this weekend, not really 48 hours, but I think we all knew I wasn't going to do that. But I still managed to read a lot. I managed to read 3 1/2 book. So I read 40 pages of Tinker Farm or Ordinary Farm, which I buddy read with my best friend. And then I read 10 pages of Middlemarch by 10 pages of Middlemarch by George Eliot to finish the chapter, and I'm gonna continue reading this throughout the next week and hopefully finish it. Also because I use it for a term paper, so it would be good if I finished it. Then I read Your Name, which I also saw the film to, and I will make a video about the films I saw in January soonish, maybe in like a week or two, in which I'll talk about the film in detail, but basically just a really wonderful book. The story is stunning. It's about a boy and a girl who switch bodies, and their different perspectives are really interesting, but also the way that their stories intertwine and their thoughts intertwine, and there are kind of different layers to each person's perspective. It's just wonderfully done, both in the novel and the film. And I think they both have different aspects of it that work better in one medium or the other, which is also the thing that I found honestly the most interesting about this, which was the note at the end by the author, kind of about the story, how he started writing the film or making the film, and how the different mediums work for him and why he chose the different mediums. So really interesting. And then I finally read the first part of The Land of Stories by Chris Colfer, which is kind of a fairy tale retelling that Chris Colfer is writing or has written, and I just want to have all the next parts and just binge through them. But it's also the series that I want to read in 2018, so I'm going to try and read one book each month. And with the way it is written, because it's a children's book series actually, it's quite easy to fly through them, so I'm guessing I'm gonna binge most of them. And it's just a wonderful story. It's so interesting. I really like the different relationships between the characters, and like how the fairy tale characters we all already know then are kind of different in this story because of whom they are kind of related with or spending time with. So really interesting. I love the way Chris Colfer is writing the story, that it's kind of at the same time easy to fly through, as I said, but also still matching the fairy tale style a lot. So really happy to finally get to this, and also to finally find out that I really love it. I was a bit afraid I wouldn't, because Chris Colfer and fairy tales are both so close to my heart, and I was really happy about this. Also, the thing I found interesting about his writing style, and that I'm gonna kind of look out for during the next books, is that there is some repetition. That whilst reading was kind of just a nice style to kind of have repetition of certain phrases, but then actually turn out to a bit lead to the climax or to the ending of the story. So it was kind of hints, and it was a bit like the breadcrumbs that Hansel and Gretel put out. So I really enjoyed that part of his writing style especially. So I'm just really looking forward to the rest of the series. Same goes for Marissa Meyer's Renegades, which is a story about supervillains and superheroes and what happens when a villain is in line with the heroes. So just really interesting from like the concepts of power and of politics. Just really interesting from the concepts of like power and how states and people work, and how power and politics work. Just really a lot of things I want to think about. I have until November, until the second part comes out, which is way too long because the ending just blew me away, and I really want to know what happens next, but also I need the time to just take it all in and think about it. The characters are amazing. I said before that I was really happy with the diversity in this. Not only for the things I already mentioned, which is like skin color, sexuality, body types, also the different levels of rich and poor and the social classes, but also just the characters themselves in their characteristics and their personalities are really different. So I just really enjoyed this, and I can't wait to read the next part. Also, the cover is just stunning, and Marissa Meyer is just a great author. So those were the books I read. I also read 3 chapters of The Valentine's Story My Friend is Writing. So here is a total count of the pages I've read when I've added them up. And I just had a wonderful weekend. It was so nice after all the university stuff to just sit down and focus on the stories I have been looking forward to so long and that have been sitting on my nightstand for forever. And I really enjoyed this. If you've read something during this 48 hours, if you've maybe even participated in this readathon, in this unofficial readathon I guess, then please let me know what you read, and if you've read any of the stories I just talked about, or maybe even like the next part of Land of Stories, then let me know your thoughts. Please no spoilers, but your thoughts in the comments down below. And apart from that, I guess I'm just gonna, yeah, have a nice evening. Maybe go to bed before 12 o'clock to actually be productive tomorrow. We'll see. Probably not. Maybe I will read. If I do, I'll update you later. But yeah, that's it for my 48-hour readathon. I had a wonderful time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you always have a reason to smile. If not, maybe take a book. But yeah, that's it for my 48-hour readathon. I had a wonderful time. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you always have a reason to smile, maybe even a book. And I shall see you soon. Bye!